Hi, I am Masbabashi and I am done with my project. I have tested my project as well as I've done the unit test as well as system test. So the backend and the front end both are running. In the backend I have used the Express and MongoDB database, and the front end I have used the React. But beside these technologies, I have used many more technologies which are listed in their packages and files. My both servers, backend and front end, are running in local server. So before diving into um, the project demo of the project, let's look at the logical flow of the this application. So in this application, the end user's journey starts from the home screen. The home screen could give them two options: either the anonymous way or the personalized way. In anonymous way, in just few easy clips, and they could get the services they want in every mode of communications. But in the second options, we could the questionnaire is a questionnaire sections in which some questions will be asked which are stored in the database, and we will analyze those results and we could give them more personalized help. Even if they want, they could store their details to the database as well for further help. So it is more personalized solution than this one. This section is easy to use and it could be used anonymously by the user. It is my old solution, but it was developed in old technologies last time, but I have now also converted them into MERNStack. So I will not explain this part here as I have explained it already, but just the technology's difference from the last one. In the new for my new functionality or new module, I have this questionnaire sections. In the questionnaire section, the user when they will click for the questionnaires, a screen comes up which is the brief intro about this questionnaire, what is this questionnaire and how it works. Then if they are ready, they could just enter in their name. This would initial phase, they could enter their rough name as well. So we are not forcing them to make it fully personalized in the very first stage. So they could come up with the first name, means could come up with any name, or they could use their name as well. So when they will enter their names, it is that the agreement that I want to start the process. I want to have this questionnaire. So when they will start the questionnaire in this, then the system will look for the main system, fetch all those questions from the database and look for the keyword start. The start is a hint for the system that this is the first question. This is the first question, and when the questions when they will get that first question, that questions will display on the screen with these options. When the user will select one option, then system will analyze what with that option, what is the next category, what is the next questions should be displayed. If the question is saying that there is another question as well, so it will look for that next category of question and display that. Otherwise, if the category says that there is no more question, there is end, then it will go to the analyze the result and it will go to the result page. So until that this end comes up with into the means in the as a category of question. So this this question section will keep running. So these question sections could vary from user to user because every option has different every option could lead you towards another question. So you might, for example, in one question you might answer and you might answer any you might answer any option which could just jump into the last question or skip because that option has already answered those things. So So the journey flow or the questionnaire flow is not sequentially, but it is rather logically. So based on the option, the next question comes up. So yeah, and when the system will hit up with the end keywords, then it will uh, stop the questionnaire section. Then it will analyze those answers given by the end users and will analyze those things and um, will decide which kind of butterfly that end user is. So how they will analyze, I will tell you in my question mapping section. So but when they analyze the which kind of butterfly is, including all those answers given by the end users, all those will be stored in the answers data, means in the answer file in the database. So in the next results page, best those data will all those data will go to the result page as well, or then those all those answered options, means answered questions, and based on that kind of butterfly that person end user is, will display services. Services will be displayed, and there will be another one more functional functions, which is if the end user clicks at at that option, they could give us their contact details, or they could anything for them, or they could send us their further and some situation, means detail about their further detail about the situation, and could ask for a more face to face or personalized help, or we could ask us to send those data to any refer them to towards the organization based on their provided data. So this could be used. I have just added this section just to say that, just to show that how we could make it more personalized. This section could be a login and could lead them towards another personalized platform, or towards for the future. Yeah, so it could be anything. Right now it is just a face, it provides just a face to means it will send, the user could send their details, it will be stored in the database and go to you, and we could give them more personalized helps. In the future it could be any more, it could be a login section towards the more personalized interface. In the database, when the content developer will get logged in, the user get logged in the content developer section, the user get only the authorized user will have can get login, because they will have free login details. When they get login, they have they will come to the admin dashboard of the successful of login. Session will be created in the database, and then based on the session, they will be lead towards the admin dashboard. In an admin dashboard, they will be able to do all these services. They could do account management, they could do user management, they could do user reasons management of the services management, questions management, answer management. They could download on, I have added all the functionality that they could download all those uh, data as well. But for the answers, they could delete or they could download the answer results, because they could not update, and they could not update or they could not edit them, because it is the result is of the end users, not the content of the content developer. So this is the journal flow of the whole system. So I have created when the site map, it is sitemap is just the summary of the whole system. Then the database, how this data, how the files are linked. These JSON files are linked in the MongoDB atlas, and what are their connection, what are their relation, either they are one to one or one to many relations, how they have, how they're connected. My project plan. So my development has been done very much earlier before the semester. Then I have to do the documentation, and when there is for, if you want to, if there is a requirement for hosting, then the hosting. So let's dive in into the actual demo. of this system. So it will, as I mentioned, that in the home screen, so it is running on my local host right now. So I have used right now this rough logo, which is an icon of butterfly, because it is right now it is symbolize project. So what is this actual solution? There are two solutions. My old solution in just easy few clicks, reach to the help, or get personalized the new solution. When you will go to the old one, it if you if you don't remember, if I new, so here there are the reasons will mentions for those which could lead them towards anyone towards the homelessness. Yes, for example unemployment, then I will there will be come up and their further statements could be. So there are right now there are a lot of statements. If they don't know, if they're not confirm power, they don't know about the reasons right now. So they couldn't find their reasons here. They could go with the don't know, or they could, and there will be all those statements which are in the database will comes up, and you whatever this means the statement or which is related to that end user, they could click on that thing and um, could get services for that one. So how much is affecting? It is magnitude. That how much is affecting. For example, it could be either very low to the very high. So for example, it is very high. So based on that one, a cookie was selected done. So and we have recommended very the most because the end user says that it is very high. So the red highlighted services tab is the most recommended services, which is the line service. Means just a phone call, because if it is urgent, you can use this service just call. So uh, it will go to the call. If you are using it in mobile, it will just go straight go to the dial up, and you can call there. Otherwise, if call is not feasible right now for you, we can go with other solutions as well. So this is the old one. Let's go to the new solution. So how the questionnaire works. Personalized help, a little bit brief intro how the questionnaire will work. So if I'm agreeing with this thing, so I just enter my name. So even it could be the rough name is this in the start. Submit the first question. So is there, it will ask, so how the questions are made, I will explain here. Okay, I have created here. So there are two types of questions. There are few questions which can define what type of butterfly you are, and there are some questions which are just for the extra help extra info of the, and to get extra info of the end user or get their situation, or there could be a fun or psychological questions. So if the questions which can define which kind of butterfly you are. So for example, this is the question: what are you worried? Are you worried about the change of circumstances? If it is, I'm not sure, means there are four types, from very low to the high one. So I have defined like this. Means the options. First option is, which is as we have mentioned in the way, which is very low one, is it is mean the name, the first persona. So the first person, I'm not sure, maybe. So it is just, I've used a word, I've given this one is a short keyword, which is a maybe start. Then maybe start, and for the next option it is, I feel I will have to. Then yes, very much, and extremely. Means every option is divided based on, means everything is divided in different kind of personas, which means it is defining different kind of personas. And when they will click those questions, then the next is the hint, the key word of the next question. So here it is saying the reason. So system will look up for the keyword next question, which has the keyword reason. So this, the next is the link between the questions. So but it is it is based on option. For example, here if there is what kind of primary change do you have, for example, they will say that my health issue. Here the next is towards, go to the towards the health keyword, health question, but here it refers to the domestic, the next option. So based on option, the next question will be displayed. So it can, yeah, so yeah, this is general map. So those questions which could define which kind of butterfly you are, they have put it, I have put them, I categorize them indifferently, and which could, which are for the extra info or fun questions, they are map out differently. So yes, now coming up to the demo. So are you worried about the change? Yes, for example, whatever you answer for this question is, if you see, this question is determining the which kind of butterfly you are. So it is whatever question option I will select, it will store in the at the back the option, that means the this thing. So I'll say next, then yes, there is a change. What kind of change it is? For example, it is a health issue. So what type of health issue is it? This question, see if these questions cannot determine what kind of butterfly you are, it is determining, it is getting extra info of the user, so we could give them those services which they required. So I'm using that mental health. Okay, so now these questions, how severe the situation is, those questions will determine the which kind of butterfly they are. So I'm saying that not at all confident, how stable the financial situation is, I say this option chose. And what you do, which is the fun question, it is also not determining what kind of butterfly you are, but it is a fun question. But and we are restoring in a database, just if you, because we could use these results as just not for a fun, we could use it as a psychological information as well. For example, what kind of, we could give them tomorrow, we could give them services based on their comfort. Let's find out. Then housing situation, I could, if I could read all those things, it will take time. So yeah, so this now if financial, at the last, what kind of help do you want? Either you want professional advice, financial help, legal help, what kind of, so this question is also not, it is kind of cannot determine which kind of butterfly, but it is an extra info. So for example, anything, for example, professional advice. See, this is the last questions, and the option turns up into the result. So it determines, based on those questions, it determines me that I belongs to this persona, I am this butterfly, and the butterfly color changes according to that, which is documented already, which kind of butterfly you are, and then the color changes. So every time, if you if the user will type different different answers, for example, for the severity there will be another persona and the different kind of butterfly. If there is another, if you are very, your magnitude of problem is very low, it will be in this, you will be this this kind of persona, and then your butterfly will be changed. So now it will analyze my results, and it give me this option. So right now means I have very just rough services at my backend which is running. So for example, this is the best option for me. I could show you at the backend just was how this thing is running. See, so all those answers, the database right now I have just shown it just to show you. I have console logged it. So all those answer, what I have chosen, what was my option, what kind of question it was other, or what it was defining my which kind of butterflies. For example, for the first question I choose an option which was very much and it was in a butterfly type of this one. So it will look up when how many times I answered which kind of butterfly. For example, if I have answered this magnitude of questions most, then my butterfly will be this. Otherwise it will be changed. So there is a logic. If I explain it will so yeah, this is the logic is going there. So yeah, the same thing, and the user's detail. Now for example, if there is, now from here, beside this making this page personalized by giving them services they want, you could like just I make I have it more one more option, which is ask for personalized, more personalized help or face-to-face help. So the user was me. Yep. So the name is already done. If it was my rough name, I could change it to my original name here, and I could type up the phone name. For example, if I want this from this organizations to help me, I need to provide the phone number, and beside this my contact details, they will have all those my answers detail as my questionnaire details as well. So they will have the questionnaire details, they will have my contact details. I could have type further situation about my details, and they will could means could lead the then based on that, yeah, the content developer could lead them towards more personalized help, or could more accurate help, or could refer them towards more towards any organization, towards anything, any source of information. So for example, if I don't enter anything and I try to submit, it will give us an error that I have to type any contact details to be contacted on. So yeah, I will type my name, this one, and I will just put a rough right now, just the rough email, and I will type the detail. It is my detail, for example, about my situation, and just submit. I just give just one information. So this thing. So here, this the type of address you can give the address, but this address right now, it is working fine. It is connected to the Google API, but actually the problem is that my API has been expired. Well, I've used it many times. For example, like if I show you, it will tell me here. For example, if I type, see, it just keep loading because my API. But if the API is running of that user, it will give them, it will auto fill the address as well when the user will get, or give them hints based on that. So yeah, so this is the end user. If you go to the user content developer section, for example, if I get logged in, if I log in, if I type wrong, it should give me an error. Yeah, because I have typed wrong password. It will look up in the database and it will give me an error. Yeah. If I am authorized user, so welcome, and it will go. So this is the admin side. So everything is the same. If you could do, there is, but for the content developer, there is an emergency. There is just, you can just do plus if your site is weak, and you can change the font, and you can, for example, if you want to hide the website, you can just close the website. Okay, so for the end developer. But for the web developer, for the content developer, is that it is changed into, because they don't want emergency section or the that one to hide the website, so that will be the logout, and that will be the dashboard. It will auto detect. So here in the account management, I could change my details. I could change my name. I could change my profile image. For example, I change it to someone. I could find any good one. I think most of them are banners. Okay, just I will change with the details right now. Okay, as I will submit. So yeah, my detail has been, so my name should be changed now. Yes. And here I could change my password. For the change password, I click this is my current password. If I type it wrong and submit and so it is also, it will change the password. It will hash the change password into hash passwords, so the original password cannot be shown. So here you can add more users you want. You can give it for example, what we could, if I would type it, it will take more time. So yeah, everything is working. I could delete them, I could edit them. I show you how I edit. I did my account management edit. I could do the user edit as well. I could download the user list in a PDF form, all those users data, so without the password. So, yeah, so I could have all those things. Users list, yeah. Same with the reasons, all those reasons for the first solutions. I could add more reasons. I could edit them. I could add more statements for each reasons. I could, yeah. Then I could download all those reasons. I could delete. If I go with every operation right now, it will be taking more and more time. So I'm going with just, so right now, which is right now very important, this is a quiz section. In the quiz section, see, so already I have these questions listed out. Each so questions, so I will have the questions. What kind of category? It is start category questions. So I could edit, I could delete them. For example, if I want to edit this one, I could edit. So yeah, so option 1 is that this one. And what kind of butterfly, if this question is determining that what kind of butterflies, you can just select any of them. If this question is not determining what kind of butterflies, you have to type other type. It is for the extra info. Yeah, so the system will save all those things. And what means now this option will lead them towards which question, what is the category of the question. If this question is already listed out, so their keyword will be listed out. If that category, that question is not yet you have not entered that question, you can just type that keyword right now here and could save it. And you can then later on. So this I have tried to make it more easy to use. So option is determining that what kind of butterflies, and this option tells that what kind of butterflies and what questions. This option will lead them towards which questions. And see this option, in this options, every option is lead towards a different question. So every option cannot lead you towards the same question. Sequential flow. And this is the other, means for it is other questions, means it is for extra information of the user. So yeah, and for the answer management, if you it is the first one I did. So yeah, here I did this one. Yeah, so if you see this, my all those answers are listed here. For the question one, what I have answered and what was the keyword for that one, and all those, based on all those questions I have answered, I have determined what kind of butterfly I am. It is already showing it. If I have given any contact details, so I have, yes, I just gave the email and the statement, and all those things. If I want, I could download all those results. Even here I could download all the questions. And if you add questions here, if you add questions or delete questions, don't forget to validate your question mapping. It will check that whether your other questions has been mapped out correctly. Right now, see, there are categories domestic, unemployment, and drug in option for which I don't have the question. So it is showing me that you have specified this category of questions, but there is no question for this. Yeah, I have question for the health, see, but I don't have the question for domestic, for unemployment, financial, and drug. So it is an error. So it is not yet complete. So if I don't have this, if I don't have the start question, it will give me an error. If I don't have any option with the end, it will give me error that there is no end of the question. So when you add or delete any question, or if you are done with the question mapping everything, just don't forget to click this one just for more confirmation that everything is fine. So yeah, I could download all those questions list and could see, as well as last time I downloaded the answer as well. You can look for all those questions list, what are the questions, what are their category, everything, and the answer for each user, what they have answered. Yeah, so you have the hard copy and the services. So for example, this is organization. This organization is providing the services, and if you want to provide the services based on the questionnaire questions, so in that questionnaire questions could come up. For example, I go just show you here for the mental health. This organization is for the mental health. So if I want to add it in the questionnaire section, I just click on edit. So here, see here, it has all those keywords of the questions which are currently now in the system. So if for which kind of butterfly it is, this organization could help any kind of butterfly persona. Yes, it is mental health, so it is for the health, not for domestic, but it is for health. I can I can select multiple options here, just control, and you can click multiple options. Not for unemployment, it is not for financial reason, it is not for, yes, it is for mental health, it is for temporary health if you have permanent mental health. Yes, you can look for the other thing. If it provides you legal help, you can just say everything. So for example, I look for this one, so I just say submit. Yes, it is updated. Now I can finally go. So see those categories option. Now next time when the end user will answer this questions, they will select this categories, or they will be any of this butterfly, and they will have chosen this health reason, the mental health issues. This service is comes up as in their result, like this time this was for last time I did it. So yeah, this is, so you can add the services. So the services could, you can give any service, it could be any resource, any could be article, it could be anything. There are title provider, if it is an organization, you can provide the phone name, phone number, address. You address mostly there was organization because the organization has multiple locations, so they mostly there is, it is a URL, or if it is a URL of Google Map, so you can just put that here. Online chat, online forum. So everything is, for example, if I enter something, for example here I type text or numbers or anything wrong, if I submit, it will tell me everything is I have there is form validation too, so it will look so that it should be a website. If it is a website, it should be a website, a complete URL, and all those things. And you can just a photo if you want, just like here I have the banner, the title, the note, the detailed bit information, but you can do it, you can enter a body any HTML part as well to make it more look good. Website, phone, address. If you click more, it will link to the external URL link. So these things are here. So this is, it means I cannot explain every function. There are many functionalities, I cannot explain everyone. When I try to um, reduce the yes, explanation as soon as I could. So this is the whole thing. Thank you very much. I can just look it out. And one more thing, yeah, everything of this file I have uploaded it in our GitHub, and I will share the link with you. No, with including with this video. Yeah. So all those development file are already up here, except my database link, which is secret, which is my personal login details. So that's why. Yeah, everything rest coding files, everything is, even the diagrams of this whole logical flow is are here. Even my get chart, everything in every format you want, whatever format you want. Question making, which I have done, is here as well.